Hey guys, it is MissSimReno. If you are returning to the channel, welcome back. And if you're brand new, I am very excited that you decided to join me here today for another speed build. And yeah, we're in Evergreen Harbor. We're just gonna move right past that. We ain't leaving for a while. We love this place. She cool. And we're real happy here. So I decided to actually build on a lot that I have yet to build on. So this, I don't remember the exact lot name, but it is I believe a 20 by 30 lot within the neighborhood that has the rock quarry. So this neighborhood, I believe, already has a green eco footprint when you load up the game because it's Port Promise that has the industrial, and I believe it's Conifer Station that's neutral. I think that's correct. I hope it is. So this already has like a green eco footprint, and therefore I kind of made the decision. I thought it was okay to use this shipping container like wallpaper that we got with this pack, even though it does have an industrial footprint. So it will kind of lean it that way. However, I use like solar panels and wind turbines as I started to combine those words. And there are some other lot traits, I believe, that enhance the green eco footprint on this lot. So all in all, I'm hoping that it kind of counterbalances the industrial impact that some of these materials may have on the lot itself. But as you could tell from the title, this is a juice bar, and I am so excited about this. I just thought it was a really neat idea. The second I realized that we had like fizzy juice, I was like, cool, so I'm gonna make a retail lot or like a bar or something. Excellent, got it. I just had to kind of think of what I wanted it to look like. And of course I wanted it to really kind of fit in with the, I don't know, upcycled, recycled, refurbished kind of theme. And I thought a shipping container was kind of along those lines, I guess. I don't really know. I could have gone like full on modern like eco building, which I was kind of thinking of. I was kind of thinking of a lot of the juice bars that I've gone to. And when I say a lot, I've gone to like 3 of them in my entire life, maybe 2. And one of them was in the state of Vermont. One was in, I believe, Texas. And then I went to one in Massachusetts. I've been to a few, and none of them were really out on like the West Coast where I feel like they're everywhere. Do you know what I mean? Because they're like a big health conscious thing, but it's also very eco-friendly. But yeah, I wanted to make a juice bar, and a lot of them that I have been to have been very, very sleek, minimalistic, modernized, and industrial. So we definitely have that aesthetic with a lot of the items that we got with this pack. However, I wanted it to be rustic, very green, and kind of earthy because let's be honest, juicing, like, it's very earthy. It's very, very earthy. And when I say I've gone to these juice bars, I'm not saying that I've enjoyed what I've gotten. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I've gotten some juices where I'm just like, huh, why did I get that? That tastes so terrible. I know it's good for me, but at what freaking cost? That's my thought process. But as you can see, I am actually now building these little kind of like open greenhouses. So my thought for this was that all of the materials and ingredients that they actually used to make all of these different kinds of juices would be grown right here on this lot. And I end up putting like a ton of landscaping around it. I used those debug fences that we got with Eco Lifestyle. They kind of match the rest of the world, right? They look like they probably built them themselves, just around like these metal upcycled covers. Because, you know, it's totally open. It's not like it's really that enclosed, but it provides some level of protection for whatever's underneath it. And what I end up doing is I use the hydroponic, I think it's hydroponic, right? That's the word. I use the hydroponic planters. When I actually read the description, it noted that you don't have to water them, I think, or you don't have to water them as often because if you water one of them, it waters all of them, I think is what it said. I haven't had a chance to really play around with those a lot because I believe they're actually unlocked via a skill or a career. They're not usually just in your standard build and buy catalog, but I had the BB Show Hidden Objects cheat on, so I had, you know, all of the objects unlocked. So that was actually really cool. So I used those. There are a couple of like the little like bug farms in there as well because I feel like they make their own either, I don't know if you can use it as fertilizer. Could you? Maybe you could. You could make super fertilizer, actually. Yeah, you totally can. I did that in gameplay. So I don't remember if it's like the crickets, the grubs, or the other option that we have with the bug farm, but you can make super fertilizer with some production from one of those. So I'm assuming that that's what they kind of use it for. And there's also just a couple of like the nice decorative shells that we've got. I was a little disappointed. I was really hopeful that one of the shelving units that we did get was basically like it was like a planter's delight or something like that. I don't remember the exact title, but it had like some cracked like pots, and it had little string lights, and it had like garden hose and everything, and it was just really really cute. And I was hoping that it actually functioned as like a flower arranging station or something like that, and it doesn't at all. It's just decorative, and I was so sad, but I used it anyway because I thought it was a perfect decoration for this. But here I am putting down some of the hydroponic planters. They also have, I was going to use the recycling machine there, but it just didn't really fit the vibe. There's also this shelf here that is just purely decorative as well, that has some pots and whatnot for gardening. But that is the shelf I was talking about that I was hoping was kind of like a flower arranging station. I feel like at some point someone's going to mod that and I'm going to download it because that sounds like a great idea to me. But they are just for decoration here, and there isn't necessarily like an order as to what is under which greenhouse here at all. There's just random planters, and I think this back one is mainly just vertical planters, and I didn't place any plants in these for the upload to the gallery or anything like that because I figured you guys can grow whatever you'd like. I didn't really want to like decide that for you, even though I know having crops there would be nice to kind of start off with. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how to do that because going into the debug menu and pulling out some crops and putting them there doesn't seem to work. I know that a lot of people have made rooms on the gallery with crops that are like ready to go. I just haven't been able to find one quite yet, so I might have to expand my search a bit. But here I'm putting down some of these string lights that we got with the toddler stuff way back when. And I didn't want to string them along the entire kind of enclosure. I wanted them to seem kind of scattered and random, I suppose. But I definitely wanted them out in the front and at least somewhat along the sides so there's some light, because I don't put a ton of outside lights. There are a few just to kind of line the pathways that I end up making from the main quote-unquote building to the greenhouses. And I thought that was kind of nice. It added a little bit of, I don't know, a touch of whimsy. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a little bit whimsical. But here I am trying to wrap up the landscaping, and I decided to use those low-lying plants from Island Living. I think they're beautiful, and I don't even remember what they're called at this point, so I do apologize. But I don't use them that often now, and I'm really glad that I used them here because, again, I wanted this to be a very green lot, and I feel as though they're very lively and very dimensional low-lying plants, so kind of sizing them down here and there and using them underneath some other bushes and shrubs and flowers I think is really really pretty. So I was really excited to finally use those again. I just felt inclined to do so because this lot was so colorful and vibrant. And I also use some of the benches that we got with City Living to make some seating areas, which I thought was really neat. You guys will see me pull them out in a second because they are painted like all these cool patterns and colors and stuff like that, and I just thought it was perfect for a place like this where everything's upcycled and created as like your own. And as you can see, I used some of those decorative plants on the side here that actually had the planters that had like little paintings on them and stuff, so I thought it fit the vibe really really nicely. There's also a lot of purple. I realized, I don't know why, purple's not really a color that I quote unquote like. I don't dislike it, but purple's not my favorite color. It's not really a color I gravitate towards, but here I couldn't really resist. I also put this little like maker's table. So as you can see, I have the new kind of like food truck-ish off to the left-hand side, and there's a maker's table. So the downfall with this is, since it is a retail lot, if your sim travels here, they have to hire a vendor for that little food truck, and other sims won't like autonomously start using this maker table to my knowledge. So if you're playing a sim and you want them to sell some things in a maker table, at least there's one available here. It just kind of stinks. Like I kind of wish that with any lot type, like any community lot type, if you place those items down, that an autonomous NPC sim would actually come and use them and like sell objects or run the vendor thing or whatever the case may be. I think that would be really, really neat. So I hope that that's something that maybe happens at some point. That would be really, really cool. It would make it a little bit more lifelike, I suppose. Also, complete and total disclaimer, since this is a juice bar and I place a ton of juices from the debug menu, I placed them all for sale. So I had like a sim buy this lot. I went in, I set everything for sale that I wanted to, be for sale. And when I went and brought my sim back there to buy the items, I could actually choose the interaction to buy the item. That wasn't the problem. The problem was that she like couldn't get to it on the shelving. Like could not get to it on the shelves at all, and I don't know why. So initially it didn't work. I tried it again. It did work, and she was able to buy one or two of them. It just depended on where they were placed. So right up front, I sincerely apologize because I haven't found a way to like really make it work. I suppose what you could do is if you buy this lot, you could have your sim go there and actually go ahead and make all of the juices themselves and then set them for sale. So I don't know. I know you guys like to download these as well and just have them be obviously fully functional, which is ideal, but that might have to be the way that it works. I hear you, and I am sorry. I'm sorry that it doesn't work. Like, I really don't understand why. I think it has to do with the fact that the debug juices aren't quote unquote owned. So they're on like this retail community lot. So your sim goes there and they can set them for sale maybe because they own the lot itself, but they can't like buy the items. I really don't know. I have to keep troubleshooting it, honestly, but I just liked the build so much and I wanted to make it available to you guys. So if you do want to play around with it in some way, shape, or form, I mean, at least you have it, I guess. But I can't wait to hear what you guys think about this one because I was just so excited. I thought it was so lively and cute. And I end up putting like a singer-songwriter speaker, so you have like this nice Americana music. And I use these kind of beaten up industrial shelves from Get to Work, but I thought it looked really nice. And it's really small inside too, as you guys have probably noticed at this point, is there is just kind of like this front register, and then near those windows in the front, I actually put the bar height counters that match this what am I trying to say? Like this front desk. There we go. The front desk. And I just kind of put some stools so you could, quote unquote, buy juice. And then you could go ahead and sit at the bar and look out the window, maybe if the weather wasn't too great. But there's also, as you guys saw, seating outside out on the little patio, as well as near the little like food truck station. So I thought that was really neat. And now I am going into the debug menu and pulling out a bunch of decorations that I am going to be using. I wanted there to be some juices and kombuchas kind of behind the counter as like, hey, these are our specials for today in limited supply, please buy them. And I went ahead and I did that, and basically for the next like, I don't know, 3 to 5 minutes, it's me pulling out these small individual items and putting them on the OMSP shelf and trying to clutter up all of the shelves in existence. I considered cutting all of this out because it was just very repetitive and it wasn't super interesting. However, if you guys like really didn't know how this came together, I wanted to make sure that I kind of showed it off because the debug menu is something that some folks are totally savvy with, and then there are others who maybe haven't explored it yet. So I wanted to make sure that I kind of sort of showed that process. And as a reminder, to unlock the debug menu, you first have to have, it might not have to be this exact order, but kind of. So you have to put the bb.moveObjects on cheat. That way you can freely move objects like I'm doing now with those curtains and stuff like that. Then you have to do the bb.showHiddenObjects, then the bb.showLiveEditObjects, like all one word, no spaces, all that good stuff. And that way, when you type in the search bar in the build by catalog, when you type in debug, it'll pull up everything. And what I did is I actually just put the eco lifestyle filter on. That way I was able to quickly grab everything that just came with this pack in the debug menu, which included all of those juices. And as you can see, there were kind of like 6 packs of the juices, and there were boxes, and then the individual cans and bottles, which I thought was really cool. I also used a lot of these storage boxes just because I was thinking maybe that was the overstock of some of these juices and whatnot, or like extra plants and seeds and fertilizer and stuff, because this place is really rustic and really kind of like a homegrown place, right? So now I'm kind of putting some decorations over here by the windows, just some more like plant wall decorations. I end up shifting things over just a little bit so it wasn't too overlapping with these bar height counters. And I put some stools like I mentioned earlier, so there are a few places to sit inside if you do go ahead and buy juice or make juice or whatever the case may be. So with this too, since the buying feature wasn't working for me very well, what I may do is I may go ahead and unlock this door here to the right for everyone. I locked it strictly for employees only, thinking that they would be the only ones making juice and everything would be great, which may still kind of work, but just know that if you download it, that might be in place. I'm not really sure if the locking door feature actually carries over through the gallery. I feel like it doesn't, because I will go through and put like security settings on the computer and they don't carry over day to day. And I also wanted to mention that I put a pride flag in this build because it is Pride Month, and it may be a very small gesture, but I want to celebrate Pride Month with all of you, so I wanted to make sure there was a little token in there, because I was actually kind of thinking that it was one of the couples that I actually already kind of thought of. I think it was for my Two Dads and Two Todds build. I think maybe they own this. I'm trying to expand their story maybe a little bit, and I think that they actually own this little juice shop, so I wanted there to be a pride flag there because I wanted to celebrate. So I wanted to make sure that wasn't just completely skipped over or anything like that. Now I am trying to clutter up these shelves with a bunch of juices. So again, unfortunately, these didn't work. I could set them for sale, but my sim couldn't reach them. Like there was like a routing error or something. Granted, when I ran this and play tested it, there were like 30 freaking sims in this building, literally just standing around. Like no one was doing anything. The employees were just sitting. They weren't doing anything at all. All of the other sims were either customers or loiters. Now, I don't ever remember seeing loiter as a label for a sim. I remember seeing customer, so I don't know if that's new. That's the first thing. And then two, I mean, they were all just standing there not doing anything. Like they weren't outside, they weren't checking out the plants, they weren't doing anything. They were all just standing there, and I actually think that it was just glitched out. I really think it is. So I can't even really determine whether or not something's wrong with this build and its functionality, or if it's just the game right now. So bear with me if it doesn't work too, because I'm gonna try to make it work. And if you guys download it and you figure out a way to make this work the way I was kind of envisioning, let your girl know, because this has been a very long trial and error for me for the past couple of days, and I just like couldn't figure it out. And I don't know all of the ins and outs of the game, so it could really just be me. I have no idea. But I'm trying to clutter up this top shelf here and kind of wrapping up all of that clutter with the juices on the shelves. Last note, actually, these juices might go bad too. I really don't know how this works. They could go bad, they could not. I have no idea. I haven't really played around with juice that much, so I really don't even know. It's such a, well, one of my favorite phrases, such a crapshoot. Like, I have no freaking idea how this is all gonna work. But here I am working on the little fizzing room. So this was, like I said, I was envisioning for employees only. So you have the fizzing station, and then you have a couple of these other boxes, maybe as like leftover inventory or ingredients to be used, maybe for the next batch of juices. And then I just work on the one and only bathroom. So it is a bathroom inside this building, and just as a toilet and a sink. And that's actually like pretty much it for the build, because everything outside was decorated, everything's good there. And even though it looks to be that there's a second story, I didn't make it functional, but you definitely could. If you wanted a bigger like fizzing room, you could put a ladder maybe behind the counter and actually access upstairs. That would be kind of cool. Yeah, I should have done that. Oh well. But here I am just wrapping up the bathroom, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. I can't wait to hear your thoughts, and I'll catch you next time I post a video, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
I made an old man. I said, tell me your story. He took out a notepad and wrote something for me. Then he kept walking on down the road, and I watched him disappear like smoke. And I thought I'd just seen a ghost. Then I looked down at what he wrote. It said, son, when you grow up you'll be fine. I know you've got questions on